my channel. If you've been here before, if you're new, then welcome to my channel. Appreciate you stopping in to check out the video. I would like to introduce our guest today, Sharon, my mother, mi madre. I brought her on because today's video is brought to you by high cholesterol and high blood sugar. So I just got my my work, blood work back from the doctor, and it's not looking so good. But my mother is a certified health coach who has done classes not just on nutrition, because I know what I should and should not eat. That's not the problem. The problem is I don't care in the moment when I just want to eat what tastes good, especially when I'm having a bad day. And it's the end of the year. As you can see, it's Christmas time. New Year's is right around the corner, and New Year's resolutions are something that last, maybe a month? I don't even know if most people make it a month.
It's probably like 26 days or something.
And it almost always has to do with eating healthy, exercising, trying to be more healthy, take better care of yourself, and then it fails. And I don't want to fail. I need to get my eating habits under control. And I want to just say I'm going to do it, but I know that it's not that easy. So help me. First of all, why, my husband just looks at food as food that you eat, not for taste, not for joy, but because that's what you need to do for your body. And I just think he's a robot because I don't know how you do that. I admire it greatly, but it's not something that I've been able to do. I have been able to do like the Lent when it's like, when I need to do it for 40 days because I know it's just 40 days because there's an end date. So what do you think is the number one problem why people can't hold on to these New Year's resolutions, especially when it comes to something like diet and exercise?
I think it's the same reason that Eve couldn't resist the apple.
The flesh.
It's because somebody told me I can't have something. So now that's what I want.
Even if the somebody's yourself.
Even if it was God.
Even if that makes sense.
God. So it's like that is something that I want because I'm not supposed to have it. I know what I'm not supposed to eat, and I have the same problem with cholesterol. Mine's gone up, down, up. Lately, as I'm getting older, I can't control it as easily as I could when I was younger. Because even when I try, now I'm trying. Now I am definitely trying, and it's still having a problem because your body gets used to being a certain way, and it doesn't care. Like, you can't just fix it. Like, I turned a certain age, now I can fix it. It doesn't work that way.
Right.
Like, your body's like, no, this is the way I've always been. This is how I function. So if you don't give me cholesterol, I'll just go make it. Like, I don't know if your body talks to you that way. But that's what your body is used to. Your body runs off of either fat or carbs. And if you're used to running off of carbs and you don't give it carbs, and you say, well, I'll just start running off of healthy fats now. I'll just eat avocados and I'll just eat nuts and things like that. Your body's like, oh, I want carbs. I don't know how to do this.
So what are you supposed to do? That sounds very self-defeating.
Well, start when you're younger.
Well, I'm too late.
But you have to make substitutions. You have to say, like, for my whole life was like ice cream. Ice cream was what made me feel better.
Yeah.
And I remember the first time I went to the doctor because I was having heartburn all the time. And they gave me a list of foods not to eat. And they said, no chocolate, no mint, no high fatty foods. And I said, oh, you mean I'm not supposed to eat chocolate mint ice cream before I go to bed at night?
That's what you were eating every day?
Yes.
That was the same thing they told me with like cutting down on the cheese and the carbs like pasta. And I'm like, but I eat fettuccine Alfredo once a week. And they were like, you have to stop.
No.
How do I stop? But I did stop, but I have not just cut out carbs. And cheese, why would I want to lead without cheese? I don't like.
But
I have to.
You know what? What I've been trying to do, and I know it, and I'll do it for a while. Like you said, at the beginning of every year, for the first 3 weeks, my husband and I go through a new plan of what we're gonna do. Like no added sugar, no, animal products, no something. Like
Gotcha.
no salad foods. We're gonna do juices.
For 3 weeks.
We've done everything, and it
Yeah.
lasts for 3 weeks, and then we just go back to what we did before.
Okay.
So it's like you said, it isn't sustainable. So what is sustainable is that when I first started deciding I have to really do something about fat intake, not just cholesterol, but I found out that I had like sludge in my gallbladder.
Okay.
Which I don't want to get my gallbladder out just because I can't stop eating fat
Right.
or the bad fat. So I found no sugar added fudgesicles, 65 calories for one. It doesn't have anything really bad. Well, it does have artificial things
Right.
in it, but it totally satisfies the ice cream craving. Have one at night, and I don't feel guilty about it, and it's not hurting me.
Okay.
You
So
know?
the substitution.
Yes, you have to find something that you figure out, is this what I'm craving? Salty? Like I've told you in the past, I've had to give up Cheetos. That was my favorite junk food.
Mm-hmm.
I found out that I can have a handful of cashews.
Okay.
Cashews, even you think, well, they're still fat, and it still has just so many calories.
But they're healthy fat.
But it's healthy fat,
right.
and you don't have a lot of them, and it has protein.
Got it.
Always have protein with your snacks.
Okay.
Always, because that will stop the blood sugars going up and down, up and down.
Okay. So when people, okay, so that makes sense to me. So what we're doing is you have to look at your diet. You have to see what the weakness is, where your areas of struggles are, and then you figure out substitutions that will be obviously too in moderation to some degree. You don't have to
Yes.
just eat like 10 fudgesicles.
Or a whole bag of cashews.
Right,
So
or
you
a
have
whole
to
bag of
measure out what you're
cashews.
going to do.
Right.
And eat very slowly. Because let me tell you too, another thing I've learned over the years, I think I learned this from J.J. Virgin in her books, is the 3-bite rule. You really, really want to have something. You're out to dinner, the person you're got a piece of cheesecake, and you're like, oh, I love cheesecake. Like, if you could just can I just have this much off the end of your piece of cheesecake?
Right.
Take 3 bites. The first bite, you'll be like, oh, this is so good. Eat it really slowly. The second bite, you're like, yeah, that's pretty good. The third bite, you're like, okay, my craving is satisfied. I'm done.
Yeah.
You don't have to eat the whole piece.
That's really important, because what I've noticed before is that there would be this sometimes like, whatever, I'm not supposed to eat this anyway, so if I'm gonna eat it, I might as well eat the whole thing, right? And that's sometimes people have the same thing with drinking, like, I'm not supposed to drink, oh, I'm drinking, so instead of having like a glass or a whatever, you fell off the bandwagon, so you might as well just get drunk, get sloshed, and all of these sound like addictive issues that you're addicted to getting some kind of endorphins out of something outside of yourself. You're looking for them in chocolate, you're looking for them in soda, whatever. Why do you think, now, exercise actually, doesn't that produce endorphins? So why is it that we fall off with exercising, do you think?
Well, you know what, I don't really know why that is, except for I think that we have a tendency to be comfortable and lazy, and we like sitting down better. But I want to go back to
That's a simple, honest, and very accurate answer. That's really quite true.
But you made me think of something before you asked the last question. That's related to what you've been talking about. You've been talking about borderline and how it's black and it's white.
Right.
And I think all of us, when it comes to giving up the foods we like, or what bad habits that we've got that we enjoy, we all have that thinking also.
We're looking at it in black and white.
Either I'm never going to do this ever again. Oops, I screwed up. I might as well just go all the way.
Oh, well, welcome to my world, people. Okay, that makes a lot of sense to me. So I know that the program that you do implements a spiritual aspect of it too, doesn't it?
Yes, but it also has a stress part, which is tied very closely to it, because all of these issues are exacerbated by stress.
Yes.
And we even know, doctors will tell you your blood work will get worse because of stress. Stress increases cholesterol. Stress increases your insulin sensitivity.
Got you.
So part of my program is that you need to find, like, there's certain steps you need to take. Biggest one is making sure you're getting enough sleep, even if that means starting to go to bed 15 minutes earlier every day.
Right.
Until you get a little bit more sleep. You've got to have sleep, because that controls the two hormones that control your appetite. They control your hunger and control whether or not you feel full. Those are, if you don't get enough sleep, and all the people that say, I only need 4, 5, 6 hours of sleep, are, if you look at that a lot of the times, you'll see those are the people who have weight problems, or they deal with their hunger problems a lot.
So you said 6 hours of sleep. What is the actual right amount of sleep?
Most people need 7 to 8 hours.
7 to 8 hours.
And if they say, well, no, I don't need it, then say, well, if you're
really
lying
healthy to yourself.
If you're really healthy and you have a healthy weight and you're in a healthy weight limit and you have a good energy limit, that's fine. But if you find yourself being, I just can't control my hunger, I feel myself hungry all the time, you're not getting enough sleep.
Got you. Okay. So, and the de-stress, now the exercise is actually supposed to help with de-stressing. I know for my husband that his workout, he has to work out because that is how he de-stresses.
And for people who are overthinkers, exercise,
that's me and her.
Exercise, I believe, should be by yourself and quiet. So you can kind of combine it with mindfulness. If you want to go outside, go for a walk up and down the street and look at see what flowers people have, see who needs to paint their house. Just but you know what you can do, or even the prayer walking. Prayer walking is like, thank you, God. Look at that bird. That is so amazing. I can hear that bird. Thank you that I have ears. Thank you that I have sight. Thank you that
I can take a walk.
Feel the breeze. Feel the temperature. So you're not thinking about work, not thinking about family problems. Just you and God taking a walk outside, exercise, mindfulness at the same time. You can do it in the morning. You can do it after a meal. It's really good after a meal,
right?
Because that helps you digest. So whichever time is good for you. People say usually do it in the morning because you get sunshine in the morning. It's too hard for me.
Yeah.
My sunshine in the morning is opening the curtains and trying to
adjust to the sun.
But you know what? For years I did it like after dinner.
Okay.
Because it like helps your food digest.
Yeah.
And you have to eat your dinner early. Don't eat dinner late.
So what's the latest time you should be eating?
3 hours before you go to bed.
Okay.
You shouldn't eat anything within 3 hours after you go to bed.
Okay.
Cut it off. For a long time, and I fall into this, I fall back into all the time. Sometimes, because we're older and we want to eat earlier or we don't go to work, my husband's like, I'm hungry now. Like, okay, we'll make dinner. We'll eat like at 5:30 or 6.
Gotcha.
And then at 7:30 or 8, I'm like, oh, a little bit hungry.
And then you get your popsicle.
I should do that. What I'll do sometimes is I'll eat a bowl of cereal. And then my sugar goes up, and it's too much carbs.
Yeah, and if you are not aware of how bad cereal is for you, most people love cereal. Like, if I could have a late night treat, it would also be cereal. But even Honey Nut Cheerios is actually one of the worst cereals. Yeah. Most cereals, colored sugar should never ever be in anyone's diet ever. Like, ever. Like, it actually causes cancer. It could cause ADHD symptoms even if you actually don't have ADHD. So when I know that people give their kids who already have ADD this kind of cereal, you are setting them up for failure, and you're setting yourself up for failure if you eat that in the morning. I mean, most adults don't, but it is a guilty pleasure that I would I want Cinnamon Life just in case I want a late night cereal. And you're right, that's just something.
And Michael Pollan, who wrote a very famous book called Food Rules, a short little book you could stick in your pocket that has a rule on each page. One of his best rules is never eat a cereal that will change the color of your milk. But anyway, for me, with my blood sugar issues, I don't need a bowl of cereal at night.
anymore.
No, because not only that, but I find out then when I get ready to go to bed, starting to get a little bit of heartburn because now my acid has been kicked up. As soon as you eat, you kick up your acid.
Yeah.
So,
yeah, and I absolutely also now have pre-diabetes, so I have to change everything. And I'll be sharing with you guys how that's going because I'm already dreading it because I love this, like the flavors of the season, the pumpkin. I get pumpkin everything. I go to Coffee Bean for their pumpkin. I go to Starbucks and get their pumpkin chai or their gingerbread chai every day. I'll go to Jamba Juice and get their pumpkin. I mean, it's just so much sugar.
But you know what? You don't have to do sugar. There's a substitute for that too.
Okay, what, monk fruit?
No, it's something. Well, I don't want to. There is a tea. I'm a big tea person.
Yeah.
Because I had to stop drinking coffee.
Yeah.
Because of my
too.
heartburn. So, and there is a decaf pumpkin spice chai.
So you can get the decaf pumpkin spice and then
I
not
put in it.
sugar
Don't
in
put sugar in it. I put in unsweetened vanilla almond milk. Anytime you put vanilla in something, it will taste sweet
because
even
of the
though there's no
vanilla,
sugar.
because it's the natural vanilla.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. Great tip right there. Appreciate that. So then the last thing was the spirituality. So how does the spirituality play into us not being able to take care of ourselves? Because I know that this body is a temple. Your body's a temple too, no matter what it looks like. It's a temple, and we're supposed to be caring for it well. So how does that fit into the spiritual aspect?
Every day we have to be mindful of every decision we're making. I mean, God gave us a brain and He gave us His Spirit so we can make decisions. We should not be doing anything mindlessly.
Right.
And that includes picking up something and putting it in our mouth.
Yeah.
So if we're like, God, should I? Okay, no. You have to give it that second. It doesn't take 3 minutes. You don't have to go stop and then go and pray. Maybe you need to pray before you dish your plate up. I don't know.
Is this the difference between praying for your food and praying about your food? Because most of us know that we need to say a prayer thanking God for our food. Yeah. But maybe if we're saying a prayer, like you said, before we dish up our plate, like, God, what should I eat that will be honoring to this temple that you've asked me to care for, that you've given to me, before I dish up, instead of just saying thank you for stuff that He may be saying, I didn't give you all that. Don't eat all that. Don't make me stop eating all that.
But yeah, and so that goes back to what I was saying about Eve. I mean, okay, so we can say, okay, I am not being deprived of anything. God is never depriving you of anything.
Right.
Just like we think, oh, I'm single. He's not letting me have somebody to sleep with. Like, He's not depriving you. Maybe He's preparing you. Maybe He's purifying you. And so if you can think of it that way, and like I said, if you can find those substitutions, God will tell you. If you ask Him, what can I eat instead? What do you want me to eat? You can research it. You can take the time to, just like you would look up your Bible and say, I know I'm reading these verses, I'm supposed to be a temple of God's. He lives in my body. So this is basically His body. But at the same time, you can also look up and say, okay, the doctors have told me I have to be careful of this. Even if you're a person who doesn't have bad blood work right now, what does your grandmother have? Yeah. What are your mom and dad, aunt and uncle, what do they have?
Yeah, because when I looked at my blood test results this morning, I was like, is this my mom's results? Because I knew you had told me that you struggle with all those things, and I've
starting
never,
at your age.
Yeah, and I've never had pre-diabetes before. I've never, like, my triglycerides have been high. They continue to get worse. Now I have the HDL, that I just have all kinds of high stuff and other stuff I don't even know. I've talked to a doctor that didn't look great. So, yeah, but I also see that because when I'm having a bad day and I'm stressed out, I don't care what I eat. It's almost like this rebellious, I don't care, I'm just gonna eat what I want to because I don't like how this is going and it sucks. And that, if I'm saying that out loud, I'm probably saying that towards God. I'm not happy with how this situation is going. I don't like what's going on. you're letting this happen, so I'm going to rebel against taking care of your temple. I'm not saying all that, but maybe on a subconscious level, that is what I'm saying. Which is the same way with people who get upset and don't eat and starve themselves. It's that kind of, I have control over this when I don't like what's going on in my life. I don't have control anywhere else. I have control over this.
And sometimes we just want what we wanted, something that's bad.
We just want those endorphin rush.
When I came home and said I'm in a bad mood, and my husband's like, oh, honey, it's okay. What can I'm like?
Get off me.
Leave me alone. I'm like, get off me. I want you to stop doing that because I want to be in a bad mood.
This is the time for me to have a bad mood.
Yeah. So, and we do that with our food, but you know the thing that's you need to do for me is not have anything available.
Yeah, you can't keep it in your house.
Don't have it available.
If you're trying to be healthy and you're like, well, I have kids and a husband and they're not trying to be healthy, you're the mom, that's not okay.
Yeah.
You're the mom, you cook, you clean, you buy, you're all going to be healthy. That's actually the right thing to do for your children and for your spouse anyway.
Yeah.
And so your whole house should not be filled with Cheetos, soda, any of that stuff. Like I don't do that stuff.
Look, honey,
anyway.
I bought this pie for you.
Yeah.
Like, I do that for him. And then I'm like, oh, well, you just eat this for you. I'm like, well, can I have a little?
Well, can I just have a little?
Yeah.
And also, I want you to live just as long, if not longer, so you shouldn't eat that pie either. Okay, so closing thoughts of encouragement, because all of this sounds like why we can't get this together. Something encouraging to let us know we can do this.
You can do it, it's kind of like, you just have to, it's not going to be something that's happened overnight. Like, I'm going to make a decision and it's just going to happen.
Yeah.
First thing you need to do is you need to I always tell people, keep a journal for like 3 weeks. Write down everything you eat, when you exercise, and then see how you feel. And then now, just write it down. No one's going to look at it but you. Then go back and go, oh, look, this is where I messed up. This is where I shouldn't have done that. I shouldn't have done that. Well, this is where I did good. And then you'll go, okay, God, help me see where I can make these changes and how I can glorify you. We all as Christians want to glorify God in our bodies. Even people who aren't Christians want to look good, feel good, and tell the world they know what they're doing.
Yeah.
But if you look like you're 10 years older than you really are, and you feel 10 years older than you really are, you know you're not caring for yourself.
Right.
So you need to put your first ambition to find out where you need to make those changes and then figure out how to make those substitutions.
Yeah, and it really has to do with the same mindset that I have when I do the Lent for 40 days. If I'm giving up cheese or if I'm giving up something that I love for 40 days, the same thing where it's like, not that I'm not craving it, but I'm using this time to honor God by, fasting from it. I'm going to have that same mentality, and I'm going to have to, really just be very mindful. And like you said, not just aimlessly go, oh, I want that's there, and put that in my mouth. So,
yeah.
Anyway, so thank you so much for giving us all of this advice for free, because she can actually charge to do this program, and she does charge to do this program. And if you actually need to do this program and you want to, I will have her email in the link below, and you can email her, and because she could do the program over Zoom. You don't even have to be local. These days everything's over Zoom. And just think about your New Year's resolution before you do it, and think about all the things that she was just talking about, and really take some time to just figure out, what you got to do to really just make a life change. And usually that does mean, like she said, substitutions and figuring out why you do the things you do and get behind that so that you can make effective change, and not just, we know so many people who yo-yo diet with crazy diets constantly, and that's not good for your body either. Those extreme diets and yo-yoing diets is actually more stressful for your heart, and nobody should ever do that. So if that's what you're thinking about doing, instead think about a lifestyle change that is actually something that you could easily adapt to with those kind of suggestions. And you can leave your comments below. We'd love to hear from you. And we'll see you next time.
Nice meeting you all.
Thanks, Mom.
Bye.